Behold, Pistol Scavenger, an aura mod that gives you even more pistol ammo than normal whenever you pick up a pistol ammo pack. Fancy that. In context, this mod is pretty simple. It's a good effect. It does give you a lot more ammo, especially since pistol ammo packs are very common, but ammo economy is just not a big deal most of the time in the current state of the game. So yeah, in context, Pistol Scavenger isn't exactly hot fire, but it is conceptually interesting, and there are a few situations where it can be pretty good. So with the understanding that in the current state of the game, Pistol Scavenger is usually not worth using, really any ammo economy related mod is just not all that helpful, and with the understanding that Carrier's ammo case exists, we'll get back to that in a minute, as is typical of this series, we're going to break down everything about Pistol Scavenger anyway, for science, I guess, and future-proofing, and teaching you all to fish kind of reasons. One thing I am not is a fish charity. The first thing we need to talk about is that Pistol Scavenger has a low opportunity cost a fair amount of the time. Aura mods at the time of this recording are just not very good, a lot of them are pretty weak, and that may not change. There are some balancing issues with the risk of players running all four of the same aura mod, and we already have stuff like that with corrosive rejection in organized groups, but for the purposes of this discussion, we're going to talk about it as though you don't have a pre-made squad. So if you were going to run corrosive rejection, you can only count on that one. If you were going to run Pistol Scavenger, you can only count on that one. And corrosive rejection doesn't really do its job if you only run one of them. We can talk about that more at some other time, but the point is that if you're already going to need to counter armor somehow and your weapons are built for corrosive or slash or whatever, one corrosive rejection really doesn't do a lot. So running another aura is not just edged out by the existence of corrosive projection if you are not in an organized squad. And Pistol Scavenger kind of does do its job on its own. You certainly aren't very likely to see any other copies of it in your squad, so that's good. It gives you more pistol ammo, a significant amount. It does kind of solve the problem by itself. So if Pistol Scavenger was just an ammo mutation in your aura slot, that would probably seem really good. And for some kinds of weapons, like pistols to some degree, it kind of is that. Ammo mutations have a much higher opportunity cost as well, because you have to sacrifice damage on your weapon to fix part of the weapon's balance. Fixing that weakness without lowering the weapon's damage is usually a much better way to get value out of it. And now we have to talk about Carrier, because none of that stuff is true about Carrier's ammo case. So continuing the comparisons to ammo mutations, Scavenger auras work while the weapon is holstered, while ammo mutations don't, but Carrier's ammo case also works while the weapon is holstered, where ammo mutations don't. So again, at this point, we can just say ammo mutations suck, and Carrier's ammo case and the Scavenger auras are what are on the table. Never use ammo mutations. I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun with that when I get around to it. Again, though, the opportunity cost is different, so even though Carrier's ammo case is also an effective way to solve ammo economy, sometimes a more effective, I would say maybe most of the time a more effective way, for most builds, your companion slot offers more utility than your aura slot. So Carrier's a good sentinel anyway, but it's true that if you want something else in your companion slot, then you've still got your aura slot and you could fix it there, or vice versa. One further nuance of the ammo mutation versus Scavenger aura comparison is that the two can work side by side. Using both would give you even more ammo, even though, just to reiterate, that's just about never necessary in the current state of the game, and you've usually gone very far astray, or you really need to hold the trigger down less if you are really running out of ammo so much that one of these mods doesn't fix your ammo problem, but both of them does. That you really could just change the way you play there most of the time. But the interesting thing about ammo mutations and the Scavenger auras is that theoretically, if you could hypothetically get the damage or other value out of your ammo very quickly, like basically at infinite speed, like magazines worth at once, you would want all the ammo you could possibly get, and that would mean using both types of ammo economy solutions together, and you would get a lot more ammo. There are a few cases, a few weapons in the game that use up ammo so fast that if you can get them to be effective, you might want to use both of these mods, both of these types of solutions, because you will just get more damage. They basically just give you more damage because you can't keep outputting some weapons' output because they just use too many bullets. And if you can get enough bullets, or at least more bullets to keep them fed, then you could get even more. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the Scavenger auras and I guess also ammo mutations relationship to increasing loot. So if you're running like Necros or I guess Hydroid or Atlas, then you will get more loot and that will include more ammo packs. And you could make those ammo packs worth even more. So you could just have like the ultimate get more ammo loadout where you do nothing but generate as much ammo as humanly possible and then use it as quickly as possible. Again, I really fail to understand how that would ever be necessary, but my point is that it could possibly be a thing that you could get value out of, and that is why we are bothering to explain this in the first place. Overall, Pistol Scavenger is mostly, however good it is, because pistol ammo is common. The Scavenger auras are better with more common ammo types, and the ammo mutation style ones are better with rarer ammo types. I do think that the Scavenger auras are a little bit underused. I use that very carefully in the sense that I feel like they're basically never used, and Carrier is used a lot, whereas in a lot of cases, I think that a Scavenger aura probably would fix the problem well enough for most people, and you don't really need to use Carrier anywhere. I think that it's mostly that people are not as aware of other Sentinel or Companion utility, and they've just been defaulting to Carrier in the same way that I can understand why you wouldn't default to a Scavenger aura. I mean, for one thing, they don't do it for every type of ammo, you know? I guess yet another drawback of the Scavenger auras is that you only get one type. I think it really wouldn't be that unreasonable for them to just give you more ammo of all types, like they were all combined, and then they don't work if you mutate ammo. So in other words, you get a Scavenger aura of every single kind combined into one, but if you only need pistol ammo, and you find some rifle ammo and mutate it, it doesn't get boosted and then mutated. That would be ridiculous. I mean, it actually wouldn't be that overpowered because we don't need ammo that badly. But you see how this becomes a weird discussion where it's like if they were to do that, it's not overpowered now, but if they ever made a weapon that actually cared about ammo economy, that would be ridiculously strong, and that would sort of be a problem, and that's probably why they haven't done that. It's weird. Anyway, Pistol Scavenger sometimes good. Rifle Scavenger, same deal to some degree. I do think that pistols are often a little bit more bullet wasty, and pistols also traditionally have lower maximum ammo pools, so you're gonna need more ammo sooner. Although this doesn't make you get ammo more frequently, it just makes the pickups be worth more. But anyway, you get the point. It's surprisingly complicated. There's a lot to this game's ammo economy that mostly gets ignored because it is just unnecessary to manage your ammo economy. And a lot of the better weapons are fairly ammo efficient. So it's just not really necessary. But still very interesting, and if it ever becomes a problem, now you are equipped to deal with it. That's Pistol Scavenger. I've been Zandy, and you've been tuned to the ModCast.